Hey y'all, thanks for joining me over here on YouTube for Bonus Saturday, where you'll find helpful, even life-changing information to assist in growing through whatever stage of a toxic relationship that you're in. And remember, leaving physically does not mean you've left mentally. So stick around, you just may come across something helpful, like today's topic. Hey guys, I'm glad you dropped in for Bonus Saturday. I'm your host, Tiffany R. Today I'll be discussing the 9 traits that makes us susceptible to narcissistic abuse. In Melanie Evans' book, You Can Thrive After Narcissistic Abuse, she shared 9 main susceptibilities that she believes, and so do I, lead us unconsciously into narcissistic abuse, and I will be sharing those here with you today, starting with number 1. You have already suffered abuse, you fear abuse, or you have a strong aversion to abusers. When we still carry the pain of past abuse, we unconsciously seek out people who represent what is familiar to us. The abuse we previously suffered becomes the version of attachment that creates the most emotionally charged feelings for us and therefore establishes a pattern, a trajectory of love that becomes part of our inner programming. Number 2, you find it difficult to speak up, stand up for yourself, or create healthy boundaries. If you suffer from an inability to assert yourself because of your fears of criticism, rejection, abandonment, or punishment, this means you will hand your power away. Rather than confront, investigate, and honor yourself when needed, you would rather go along with others despite how wrong this feels for you. This classic self-abandonment allows narcissists through your boundaries and means you will struggle to kick them out of your life and your psyche once they start abusing you. Number 3, your integrity level is high and you are dismayed if anyone questions it. When we believe our worth is dictated by what other people think of us rather than what we think of ourselves, we are in for a very hard time. Life will feel precarious, especially if you are attached to a narcissist who accuses you of things you would never fathom thinking or doing, while you frantically try to force them to think differently about you so that you can feel okay again. This lack of self-worth means we are vulnerable to being abused over and over again. Number 4, you work hard to sustain a sense of security, and you clean up the mess made by other people that could threaten your security. When you take financial responsibility for people who refuse to take responsibility for themselves, it is like watering their garden while your own is dying. You are being drained of your energy, sanity, and resources. Narcissists attach to people who have resources and with whom they can enmesh their lives and take responsibility for cleaning up after them. The narcissist siphons out your resources while you are busy sorting out their mess. Number 5, you feel deep down that you can only be loved for your efforts and accomplishments. If you keep trying to prove your worth by taking on the burdens of others, being generous to a fault, giving till it hurts, and doing all the things we do when we don't believe we are lovable or worthy simply in and of ourselves, narcissists will be magnetized to you. You are the perfect source of a narcissistic supply. As the narcissist gets to live out their preferred scenario, it's all about me at your expense. Number 6, you unconsciously feel others will only love and care for you when you tend to their needs first. If you grew up in a household where you tried to placate or keep others sane so that they would have enough resources to love and care for you, you are likely to be attracted to unsafe people. Rather than identifying your own needs, asking for what you want, and laying down boundaries that define how others treat you, you will have a high tolerance for unacceptable behavior and a propensity to cater to it in order to stay safe. Narcissists are the perfect fit for this tendency. Number 7, you are very hard on yourself and are never happy with what you have achieved. You continually feel anxious about what you haven't accomplished yet. It is a totally false premise that people will treat us how we treat them. The truth is that people treat us in a way that reflects how we treat and truly feel about ourselves. If you are your own terrible inner critic, then you will gravitate towards relationships with people who deem you as never good enough. Additionally, most of us won't stay in a relationship in which the level of love is below the level we hold for ourselves. Narcissists generate and stay in painful, dramatic relationships because chaos is the state of their inner being. One of the reasons we stay with a narcissist is because the narcissist mirrors the ways we truly feel and talk to ourselves. We have seen how, with narcissists, we are damned if we do and damned if we don't. Yet, how many of us treat ourselves with unappeasable, conditional love? Number 8, you have a tendency to want to fix and sort out other people's problems rather than examine and sort out your own uncomfortable emotions. If we have never learned how to self-partner, self-soothe, and self-heal our own emotional triggers, we will tend to look to the outside world for relief from our own uncomfortable feelings. Yet, if we try to control others in a bid to assuage our own out-of-control emotions, we in turn will become more vulnerable to being controlled. By forcing our attention outside ourselves, we effectively drain ourselves of power, hand it over to others, and enable somebody like a narcissist to receive grade A narcissistic supply from us and power up against us. Last but certainly not least, number 9. You see yourself as an empath and you put other people's needs before your own in the belief that this is virtuous. If we are an empath, i.e. we feel the energy of others intensely and we try to assist others as a way to feel better about ourselves, we may pride ourselves on how we show concern for other people's needs and wishes and cater to them. However, if we are not capable of defining our own needs and wants, nor of asking for these to be met healthily, we will not receive back the care and love we crave. This can cause us to become resentful and to hold other people responsible for our unhappiness. This attitude can inadvertently keep us hooked on narcissists as we try to change them into good people whilst offering them copious amounts of narcissistic supply. Wow, I know it may be a bit overwhelming to relate to any, if not all, of those on that list. When I first came across this list, I easily checked off on every single one. I honestly didn't know where to start until I came across the definition of self-worth, and I'll go into great detail in another video describing the difference between self-worth, self-love, and how to apply it to your everyday life. Until then, I suggest going down this list and checking off what it is that you can start working on today. Thank you guys so much for joining me on YouTube for Bonus Saturday. And as always, make it a great day. The choice is literally yours.